Good morning, students. Okay, welcome to DBS class. Now in this class, we can discussing about the utilization of electrical energy subject. Okay, electrical traction unit. Okay, so now in this class, we are discussing about how to control the traction motors. Okay, so how you can control the traction motors. So now you can see. Okay, traction motor control. See, for traction purpose, we are using the motors. So that is you have used both DC motors and AC motors. Okay, so here in this one, how you can control that motors for the traction purpose. See, normally at the time of starting, so whenever you can switch on that motors, the excessive current will be drawn by the electrical motor from the main supply. Okay, so at that time it will be causes the effects. So at initially whenever the starting current will be very high, so at that time it may be cause very high resistance. Okay, so that's why it is necessary. Okay, so it is necessary to reduce that current drawn by the traction motor. So at starting to reduce, starting it is necessary to reduce that current drawn by the traction motor for the smooth control. Okay, for smooth control and operation. Okay, so see. Here to achieve smooth acceleration without any jerking and sudden shocks. Okay, why? Because so whenever it at the starting, whenever you have high shocks, so at the time it may be causes some shocks, vibrations. Okay, so that's why to achieve smooth acceleration without any jerking and sudden shock. Okay, to reduce the starting current as well as to prevent damage to the coupling. Okay, for the motors you have to coupling the other motor. So at that time to prevent that damage. Okay, so as well as to achieve the various speeds. Okay, to achieve the various speeds depending upon the type of services. Okay, so you have to different services in electrical traction purpose. Those are urban services, suburban services, okay, and maintenance services. Okay, so to achieve various speed depending upon the type of services. Okay, so that is to control the motor. Okay, see, first here you can see the control of DC motors. How you can control the DC motor? See, at the time of starting, excessive current is drawn by the traction motor. Okay, at the starting of the excessive current. Okay, excessive current will be drawn by the motor when rated voltage is applied across its terminals. Okay, so whenever you have to apply the voltage, that means whenever you can switch on the voltage, so whenever you can start the motor, so at the time the excessive current will be drawn by the DC motor. So during the starting period, the current drawn by the motor is limited to its rated current. Okay, so in previous you have to discuss. So compulsory to reduce that starting current. Okay, so that's why see, this can be achieved by placing a resistance in series with the armature winding. Okay, this can be achieved by connecting a one series resistance in series with the armature winding. Okay, that resistor is known as starting resistance. Okay, that resistor will be called as a starting resistance and it will be cut off during the normal running period. So at the starting purpose only you have connect that resistance into the circuit. So whenever in running period, okay, there will be that it will be cut off from the running normal running period by applying rated voltage across its terminals. Okay, so and that means whenever you have to apply the voltage, so whenever the motor will be comes into the running position, okay, so at that time, okay, it will be it will be cut off during the normal running period. Okay, there will be applied a rated voltage across its terminals. Okay, by the resistance of starting resistor, there is a considerable loss of energy takes place in it. Okay, so whenever you have to connect the resistance in series with that in series with that starting resistance, so at that time there will be a considerable loss. Okay, power loss will be takes place in that resistor. Okay, see at the time of starting switching on, the back EMF developed by the motor will be 0. At the starting, the back EMF EB value is equal to 0. Okay. So, see, at the starting, supply voltage V equal to IaRa. IaRa is nothing but voltage drop across the armature plus Vs. Vs is nothing but the voltage across the series resistance. What is the resistance connected in series with the armature? Okay, that exhibits some voltage drop. That voltage drop here you can assume Vs. So, initially EB value will be 0. Okay, at the starting there will be no back EMF. So, that's why here you cannot mention the EB value. See, here Vs is the voltage drop across the starting resistors and IAR is the voltage drop in the armature. Okay, see during the running condition. So whenever the train will be in running condition, okay, back EMF will be existed. But so see IA, so total voltage that is equal to IARA plus Vs plus EB. So whenever the train will be running, EB will be added. Okay, that means motor in running position, back EMF will be developed. But you can cut off that voltage series resistance. So whenever the motor will be comes into the running position, here you can say that at that time you can cut off that series resistance. So at the time Vs value will be 0. So at the time finally supply voltage V equal to IaRa plus EB. IaRa is nothing but voltage drop in the armature. EB is nothing but back EMF developed. Okay, see at the end of the accelerating period, the total starting resistance will be cut off from the armature. That's why Vs value will be 0. See, whenever running condition and starting condition, there will be negligible armature resistance. Armature resistance value will be very small. So that's why you can take that armature resistance value will be a 0. So and T is the time in seconds for starting the total energy supplied. Okay, so to start the motor it will require some time period. So that time period here you have assumed the T. Okay, and it is measured in seconds. Okay, so at that time you can occur the power in the total power wasted in the starting resistance is the total energy supplied is VA by 80 watts per second. So here I can say you can say that there will be power loss occurs in the resistors. So and that can be taken as okay. So that power resistance will be calculated as see. This is the starting. Okay. And this will be running. Okay, drop during starting resistance. Okay, see various drops during starting and running with armature resistance. Okay, with armature resistance here various drops during starting and running with negligible armature resistance. Here armature resistance RA value will be 0. Here you can assume the armature resistance. Okay, see here you can take the you can assume a triangle PQR. So at that time, so area of triangle PQR into IA. So area of triangle PQR means voltage or power half V. You can take with respect to the time. So you can take the time. So T into V and armature current IA. So that means half VIT watt per second. Okay, this is the voltage drop in the series resistor. Okay, so that is whatever the electrical energy supplied to the motor, half of the energy is wasted during the starting resistor. So whenever whatever, so how much amount of energy you can apply for the traction motor. So in that from that total energy, so 50% of the energy is wasted during the starting resistor. The efficiency of the traction motor at the time of starting. So at the starting, whenever you can start the traction motor, so at that time the efficiency value will be 50%. Okay, see that's why you can eta starting is equal to 50%. Okay, so this is the traction motor control. Okay, so mainly you have to use the mostly DC motor. So that's why here you can only discussing the traction motor, that means DC motor control. So next you can discussing about the auxiliary equipment. Okay, auxiliary equipment. What is the equipment used in the traction purpose? Okay, see. In a traction system comprises of the following auxiliary equipment in addition to the main traction motors required to be arranged in the locomotive and discussed below. Okay, see, in addition to the traction motors, so compulsory you have to use the motors. So here in traction purpose, you can say that motors are traction motors. So in addition to the main traction motors, you have to use this so many equipment. So first one is what? Motor generator set. Okay, see, motor generator set consisting of a series motor and shunt generator. So here you can connect the motor is a series motor and generator is a shunt generator. It is mainly used for lightning control system and the other power circuits for low voltage in the range of 10 to 100 volts. So why here you are using that motor generator? That means for lightning purpose, okay, as well as controlling purpose and giving the power to the low voltages in the range of 10 to 100 volts. Okay, the voltage of the generator is effectively controlled by the automatic voltage regulator in this motor generator set, and again the voltage of this generator will be effectively controlled by the automatic voltage regulator, AVRs. Okay, you can say that is the AVRs. Okay, so next main another equipment is battery. Okay, see, it is very important to use the battery as a source of energy for pantograph. So you can later discussing about the pantograph. So pantograph is nothing but you can see in you can whenever you can go to the railway stations, whenever you can observe the train. So on the top of you can one arrangement like a line type. So that is nothing but pantograph. Okay, so here to charge, to giving the energy to that pantograph, here you are using the battery to run so that means see, to run the pantograph, auxiliary compressor and to operate the air bladder. So circuit breakers, compulsory we are using the circuit breakers, okay, for safety, for protection purpose. Okay, to run these all equipments, here you are using the battery. Okay, the capacity of the battery used in the locomotives is depending upon the vehicle. Okay, so the capacity of the battery, okay, used in the locomotive depending upon the vehicle. So what the range of vehicle you can use, that is what range of the train you can use depending upon the train. Here you can here the capacity of the battery will be also dependent. Normally the battery may be charged by a separate rectifier. Again to charge that battery you are using the rectifier. Rectifier unit. Rectifier, see, it is the track electrification system is AC motors. So if suppose you have to use the for the electrical traction purpose AC motors, so at that time you can use the rectifiers. What is the purpose of the rectifier system is AC motors, and see if you can see available traction motors are DC motors, okay, then rectifiers. So you have to use the DC supply. So, but whenever you have to get the AC in some cases for electrification purpose. So, at the time to convert that AC to DC, here you can use the rectifiers. Okay, to feed the DC traction motors. Okay, so next one is what? Transformer and auto transformers. Here you can use the transformers and either are auto transformers. So, see, depending on the track electrification system employed, the locomotives should be equipped with tap changing transformers. So, in track electrification purpose, sometimes you can maybe need such step up and sometimes you can need the step down. So, for the step up or step down purpose, here you are using the tap changing transformers. See, depending upon the track electrification system employed, the locomotives should be equipped with tap changing transformer to step down the high voltages from the distribution network to the feed the low voltage traction motors. So from the distribution station, you can get the high voltages. So that means at the time to step down that voltages to feed the traction motors. So for the traction motors, you can give the low voltage. So at the time to feed the traction motors, you can use the step down motors, step down transformers. So at the time that step down transformers will convert the at that time this step down transformer will converts that high voltage to low voltage. Driving axles and gear arrangement, all driving motors are connected to a gear arrangement with ratio of 4:1 or 6:1. So driving gear equipment. So compulsory you have to gears will be used, that all will be arranged in the ratio of 4:1. Okay, if that means 4 gears, you can use the 1 axle, or for 6 gears, you can use the 1 axle. Okay. So these are the equipments used in the auxiliary equipment used in the traction purpose. Next you can see the transmission of drive. See, drive is a system used to create the movement of electrical train. Okay, drive is nothing but it is a system used to create the movement of electrical train. The electric locomotives are especially designed to have springs between the driving axis and the main body. So here the electrical locomotives, okay. So especially they have the springs between the driving axis and main body. Body means so like bogie, okay, and in between compartments, okay, and driving axis you have the springs arrangement. This arrangement of springs reduces the damage not only to the track wings but also to the hammer blows. Okay, so why you are using this spring arrangement means it will reduces the damage. So some damage to the track wings. Okay, so the power developed by the armature of the traction motor must be transferred to the driving axis through pinion and gear drive. So whatever the power developed in the motors, okay, so that must be transferred to the driving axis through pinion, okay, and gear drive. See, there are several methods by which power developed by the armature can be transferred through the driving wheels. So that is gearless drive. Gearless drives, okay, gears are two types. So see here, direct drive and indirect drive. Okay, so direct drive, it is a simple drive. The armatures of the electrical motors are mounted directly on the driving axis with a field attached to the frame of locomotive. So that means the armature of the electrical motor is directly connected to the driving axis and the field is directly attached to the locomotive. Okay, so in this system the poles of electrical motor should be flat. So compulsory in motors you can use the poles either 2 poles or 4 poles or 6 poles like this according to the range of the motor. So whenever you have to using the poles at the time in this for direct drive, so the poles used in the electrical motor should be flat so that the armature can be also used to move freely without affecting the armature. So at that time the armature will be moved freely, so without affecting the operation. Okay, here the size of the armatures of the traction motor is limited by the diameter of the driving wheels. So as well as the size of the armature of the traction motor is also limited by the diameter and driving wheels. Okay, so the arrangement of the direct drive. Okay, this is the arrangement of the direct drive. Okay, so this is the pole. Okay, this is the armature and this is the motor shaft. Okay, yoke. Okay, field winding, armature winding. Okay, so this is the arrangement of the direct drive. So direct drive, gear drive. See, in direct drive there will be another type, that is direct field drive. Field is nothing but a hollow shaft. Here are using the shaft is a hollow. Driving axle is surrounded by the hollow shaft attached by springs. Okay, so see driving axle. Okay, here what is the driving axle is surrounded by the hollow shaft attached by the springs. The armature of the motor is mounted on a quill. Okay, so here the armature is directly mounted on the shaft. The speed and size of the armature are limited by the diameter of the driving wheels. Okay, so that means here are using the hollow shaft. So that is nothing but the direct wheel drive. So next one is what? Gear drive. See, in this drive the armature of the traction motor is attached to the driving wheel. Okay, through wheel system. Okay, here the armature of the traction motor is attached to the driving wheel through a gear wheel, one wheel system, but here directly connected through the hollow shaft. Okay, but here you can connect through a gear wheel system. Now the power developed by the armature is transferred to the driving wheel through the gear system. Here gear drive is necessary. Okay, here gear drive is necessary to reduce the size of the motor for the given output at the high speeds. Okay, so and here the gear drive is necessary to reduce this speed. Okay, so see the gear ratio of the system is usually 3:1 or 5:1. See, this is the gear, this is the geared wheel. Okay, so that means see. Okay, so generally how you can arrange the drive means is nothing but see, this is the gear. Okay, this is the driving train wheel. Okay, train wheels. Okay, so here traction motor through pinion, this is the shaft. Okay, these are the springs. Okay, this is the arrangement of the wheel. So Brown Boveri individual drive. So this is one type of wheel. See in this drive a special link is provided between the gear wheel and driving wheel. See here you have to gear wheel and driving wheel. In these two wheels here you can provide a one be a special link. Okay, so that which provides more flexibility of the system. That is nothing but the Brown Boveri individual type. Okay, this is the up to now. Here you can discussing about the electrical traction one. Okay, so first of all, what is the traction? How in which year you can introduce the traction? Okay, what are the types of traction? AC traction, DC traction, and what are the motors used in the traction purpose? Okay, and how you can start that motors by using the braking. Okay, and how you can control that motors, and what is the equipment used for the traction purpose? Those all are discussed in the traction one. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so now in this class we are discussing about utilization of electrical energy. Okay, traction. Okay, so in previous classes you can discussing about, okay, so what is the regenerative braking? Okay, so what is plugging or what is dynamic braking, and how you can apply these all types of braking to all types of motors, that is either DC motors, DC series motors, okay, AC motors. So those all are discussed in earlier classes. Okay, so now in this class we can discussing about the traction motor control. Okay, so what are the motors used for the traction purpose, either that is DC motors or AC motors? How you can control that traction motors? Okay, so see, normally at the time of starting, the excessive current drawn by the electrical motor from the main supply causes to the effects. Okay, so that means, so whenever, okay, initially whenever you can switch on the motor, so at that time initially it draws the high current from the supply. So whenever at the starting the high current will drawn from the motor, so at that time it may be cause the some effects. So so that it is necessary to reduce the current drawn by the traction motor for its smooth control. Okay, so that's why you have to reduce the current, okay, drawn by the traction motor for this. So that purpose you can reduce that excessive current at the starting. So that is necessary. Why? Because for the smooth control and operation. Okay, so to achieve smooth acceleration without any jerking and sudden shocks. Okay, so at start you can get the achieve the smooth acceleration without any jerking, and that means vibrations and sudden shocks. Okay, to prevent the damage to the coupling. So compulsory for the motor you can coupling the another motor. So whenever one motor draws excessive current, so whenever the winding of that motor will be damaged, so what are the equipment coupling to that motor will be also damaged. Okay, so that's why you can compulsory control the traction motor. Okay, so next one is to achieve various speed depending upon the type of services. So as well as to achieve the various speed. Okay, so you have different services. Okay, mainline services, urban services, suburban services in traction purpose. Okay, so for different services you have to the train speed is different. Okay, according to that achieve various speed depending upon the type of service to control the traction motor. See, first you can control the DC motors. Okay, how you can control the DC motors? Now you can discuss. Okay, so control of DC motors. See, at the time of starting, excessive current is drawn by the traction motor. when motor rated voltage is applied across its terminals. So whenever you can apply the, that means you can switch on the motor, that means you can apply the terminal voltage. So at that time starting the excessive current, okay, excessive current will be drawn by the traction motor. During the starting period, the current drawn by the motor is limited to its rated current. Okay, so at the starting period, okay, the current drawn by the motor is limited to its rated current value. Okay. So that's why this how you can achieve means, see, this can be achieved by placing a resistance in series with the armature winding. So in compulsory in motor you have armature winding and field winding. Okay, to reduce that excessive current, okay, you can connect a one resistance. Okay, you can connect one resistance with in series with which winding? Armature winding. Okay, so this is known as starting resistance. So the resistance which is connected to the across in series with the armature winding, that resistance will be called as starting resistance. Okay, it will be cut off during the normal running period. So at starting purpose, whenever you have to starting the motor, at that time you have connect that series resistance. Whenever the motor comes into running position, that means whenever the motor will be comes running, so at that time you can cut off. That means you can reduce that resistance from the running period. Okay. So by the resistance of starting resistance, there is a considerable loss of energy takes place in it. So whenever you have connect the resistance means, so compulsory at the resistance you can get a some power. So that power value will be taken as a loss of energy. At the time of switching on, the back EMF developed by the motor. So at the starting, okay, at the starting of the motor, so the back EMF developed EB value is equal to 0. Okay. Supply voltage. So what is the supply voltage is applied to switch on the motor is V equal to ISRS, okay, plus VE square. So where we see Vs is the voltage drop across the starting resistance and IR is the voltage drop in the so this is Vs. So Vs is nothing but voltage drop across the starting resistance. Here you have to connect the at the starting series resistance in series with the armature. So here Vs is nothing but that is the voltage drop occurs across that series resistance, and IAR is the voltage drop in the armature. During running condition, what happened? You can remove that Vs value. See, during the running condition, starting you can IARA Vs plus EB. EB is nothing but, so initially at the starting EB value back, so in previous slide you can discussing at the starting the back EMF value EB equal to 0. So whenever during the running condition, so the back EMF will be occurs. So at that time you can remove the series resistance. That means cut off the series resistance. At that time the Vs value will be 0. So that's why here you see here you have V equal to IARA plus Vs plus EB. So at the end of accelerating period, the total starting resistance will be cut off from the armature. So you can say that here the Vs will be cut off from the armature. Okay, that's why here you can mention V equal to IARA plus VB. So that means Vs value will be cut off from the supply. Okay. Various drop during starting and running with armature resistance. Okay. So various drops during starting and running with negligible armature resistance. Okay, during the running condition, you have to negligible the armature resistance. See, when armature resistance is neglected, okay, so RA equal to 0. So whenever RA equal to 0, so and T is the time second for the starting. Okay, to start that motor, it requires some time period. So that time period will be, you can assume the T. Okay, so VA by AT watts per second. Okay, so that means this is the energy wasted.